Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Warhammer 3. Here today on the channel we have episode 10 of my Miao Ying the Storm Dragon series. We're playing as the Northern Provinces. We're playing as Grand Cathay. Here today we're going to be venturing into NURGLE'S Chaos Realm to try and capture the NURGLE Demon Prince's soul. So if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. Got to say a huge thank you to the Creative Assembly for sending me early access and making this Let's Play possible. So thanks to them. Alright, we're 93 turns into the campaign. Cathay is mostly under my control and under the control of my brother, Ming, the Iron Dragon. We've actually ventured further south into Ogre territory, into the Ice Pass Mountains, the ancient giant land as well, and we're in a really good position to venture into the Rift once more. The Great Bastion is currently firmly under control, that I have access at the Turtle and the other gate further to the south. The Snake Gate, that's what it is. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. We can send some trade caravans out as well. The Wujing Compass is currently on Celestial Lake. I tend to like that more than any of the other particular options. Diplomacy-wise, we could make a peace treaty soon with Greasus. We managed to fight and destroy him in the last episode at in the Ogre Mountains in the last episode. But yeah, a lot of the Ogre territory was destroyed and decimated by various chaos forces, and we were able to go over there and colonize it for ourselves. But anyway, we're going to venture now into NURGLE'S realm. But also please take into consideration as well that Warhammer 3 is still under development, and this is an early access build.
The land of the Plague Lord. Be cautious where you step in this putrid domain. NURGLE'S realm is a garden of bloated flora and fauna, desperate to spread their infected spores. And at its center lies the mansion of the Plague Lord. The great sagging edifice where NURGLE himself works to concoct his greatest poxes. Guarding the mansion's gates is the Gardener, the favored demon prince of NURGLE. Destroy him to claim his soul.
Okay, welcome to the realm of NURGLE. Now, I've mentioned this before. For whatever reason, when I go into the Chaos realm, I get this like visual bug on the side. It is a known issue. I think what like at a technical level, I think it is they upgraded the textures at one point. They added new textures that my old save doesn't have like proper filing to. So that's why is always a caveat for content creators and stuff that this is an early access build, it's subject to change, it's a known issue. So that's why my Chaos realm looks a little bit iffy here, because I'm playing on an older version of the campaign. But look, it's not too much of an issue, just you guys need to be known about it. But you can still see what's going on the majority of the time. Okay. Catherine, the Ice Queen of the Ice Court, has entered into the Plague Lord's realm. Okay. Oh, and there is Kislev. Further to the south. That's cool. Alrighty. So, this can be a little bit tricky if you're not at full strength venturing into NURGLE'S realm, because you are constantly taking attrition. And we do need to head westward to the tree. I'm just sort of saying which army I should attack. You can obviously get like full replenishment bonuses from these various little glowing portkey looking things. But anyway, I think we'll fight this one. We'll try and get rid of this NURGLE army. And lightning strike isn't... So what is it? Oh, actually, no, okay. It actually wins me a bit, because then it changes to a Pyrrhic victory. That's interesting. Huh. So there's actually a little bit more of a cost-benefit analysis that you have to make doing lightning strikes in Warhammer 3. That's interesting. I didn't fully comprehend that. Anyway, let's load on in and have our first battle against NURGLE in his Chaos realm. Okay, so nothing too crazy. We have 5 units of Celestial Dragon Guard. I've also brought in some Jade Warriors as well. We're not at full strength because, interestingly enough, we were a little bit depleted from battling Greasus in the last episode. So you've got to be careful that you aren't too depleted against other AI factions on the campaign when the rifts turn up, because you do need to be fully strong and fighting fit. It's not going to matter too much, as in this realm we are going to be able to heal up to full strength. But let's have a look at NURGLE'S realm. Look how disgusting and grotesque some of the features and some of the topography on this battle map. But there's their lord. My god, check out how gross their great uncleaned one is, spewing bile and toxins throughout the battle map. These guys look quite cute. These one-eyed toad looking things. Oh my god. So we're going to have to watch out for them. So nothing too crazy, just a strong long front line and a defensive position. You know what, I might even move up my... Actually, I might just advance... what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to put my fire rain rockets up, and then I'm just going to control left click and just move everyone up, because I want to be able to... We're at a bit of a low ground there, so it's not optimal to be too far back. I want to try and rely on my artillery and archers to do most of the work. NURGLE isn't the most hardest demonic faction for Cathay to deal with, as their hit points are very quite low, and their armor. And they're very, very susceptible to artillery, rifle rounds, and archers. But these toads are going to complicate things if they can flank and wrap around our main line. We do have a little bit of a natural barricade there, and they have to make their way through the swamps on our left and right, which will make them take a little bit longer. But our first battle against a proper built mid to late tier NURGLE army. We've fought smaller demonic NURGLE minions that have ventured through the rift into Cathayan territory, but this is our first real battle against them, and let's see what they have to offer as they're flying on in with their grotesque toads. And they do have some of their flying units that have gone over my infantry front line and actually disrupting and really just annoying my crossbow fire pattern here. So we do have to be careful of that. I can move Miao Ying into dragon form now. I think I'm going to do that. We do have a healing spell here, which I'm definitely going to try and use. Just about killed my frames there. Oh my god, as a big tree is basically summoned. So let's try and target this great uncleaned one and try and hold on as best we can. So we've completed Slaanesh and Khorne's realm. Once we get rid of NURGLE here, all we have to do is Zinch. As Miao Ying in dragon form is going to engage their clean one. We've got some Celestial Dragon Guard holding. They've even got another one here as well, spewing bile and pollutants over the Celestial Dragon Guard. I just want to try and buff Miao Ying where we can. Give us some more additional melee attack. Lost about 300. Knocked about 100 of them. So Miao Ying can focus on venturing through the Chaos Realm, because only your faction leader can go through there. But so far, army-wise, we've got 2 on the Great Bastion. We've got a couple of armies that will need to close and deal with some of the rifts that have popped out through my Grand Cathay territory. We'll just drop a Wind Blast here with my Astromancer. Try and get rid of these little Nurglings. Oh my god! Oh, so many of them went flying. I thought they were stuffed. But they managed to spring on back into a decent position. And yeah, we're starting to take Ogre territory, which is really quite lucky that they were crushed by various Chaos forces and Zinch. because it's kind of interesting what's happened into the ogre sphere of influence. Half the ogres like me because I'm at war with the other half of the ogres, and there's a bit of a buffer zone in certain areas, and particularly Greasus, maybe even Scrag to some extent in those mountain ranges. Their territories have been smashed. Maybe that's because as well they've kind of abandoned it. As if you guys would have seen in previous episodes, you won't believe this. Altdorf, the Empire, has for all intents and purposes been destroyed from Übersreich to Altdorf to Marienburg by the ogres. So they've found their new homeland there. I did say that I wanted to send an expedition at some point through the rift. I just feel like we haven't gotten to the position just yet. Just need to get rid of these plague bearers here, as we're just sort of trading back and forth at the moment. No one's completely routing. My artillery, unfortunately, has been unattached. The men controlling it, the engineers controlling the fire and rockets, have been knocked off. But so far, although the Celestial Dragon Guard and some of the Jade crossbowmen are getting depleted, I think we're going to overall win this fight. It's still quite close, about a 50-50. But yeah, like armies-wise, we've got defending the Great Bastion, we've got defending my lands, and then we're sort of taking a bit of a slow approach. We're going to turtle up, ironically. We're all about the turtles here in Cathay. But yeah, we're going to turtle up in the recently taken and recolonized lands in the Ogre Mountains. We do need to defend them because there are some roaming ogres and stuff. I haven't got to a point where it's like, oh, we've got a spare free stack that we could send to the Empire. Because honestly, there's some fertile territory that's really quite hospitable for us. Because the thing is with Warhammer, you've got to sort of pick and choose where you expand and conquer, because you do really want to try and take hospitable lands, particularly when you're playing in vanilla. Things will change once mods come out. I can't wait to see what the modding community has to offer. I can't wait to start modding this game just to add more replayability. I was a huge fan of SFO and various other mods. I think as well there was a really good mod that I enjoyed in Warhammer 2 that gave the human player and AI additional bonuses within their territory is in movement, and I think that's quite cool. It makes sense. It's quite intuitive because, like, for example, if you're taking a province in Cathay, the Cathayans would actually know. You could even like tie it into a role-playing and a lore situations. Like, the men of Cathay are going to know how to navigate their homeland that they've been throughout their entire life, while the invading enemy combatants, let's say Chaos Warriors, will, or maybe even Norskins, won't necessarily know how to traverse the terrain. And it also stops the annoying ability of what can happen sometimes in Warhammer, that you constantly can't chase up to and run down enemy armies in your territory. You can obviously tell them to go away and get stuffed in the new feature that they've added, but to actually run them down, it can be quite annoying and a bit of a time waste, in my opinion, which can be annoying trying to run them down. But anyway, we've run a Pyrrhic victory here. We lost 600, but that's not going to matter too much. As long as we don't lose too many units in their entirety, we should be okay. But now we're going to be able to push on through and make our way westward to the toxic tree. So we didn't lose anyone. Oh, we lost a Jade Warrior. That's annoying. But that's nothing too bad to be upset about. So that's now gone. If we go just to that glowing circle there, we are going to be able to get a replenishment. We're going to send out this trade caravan again. Yes, as you can see, Altdorf is gone, which is super interesting. But we'll send them there to get the money. Yeah, Arcane Conduit for Miao Ying. We already had that for my Astromancer, but we're really starting to fill out her skill tree. Maybe even Deadly Onslaught. We want to try and get to Rally next and open that up. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn. 94. We're going to force march. I want to try and get to here, if I can, to get the replenishment. So we'll initially take a little bit of a hit. We do have to be careful of Katerin. Okay, let's move into here. I'm pretty sure we should get a replenishment. Or we might get a reward. We'll say, yeah, all damage units are fully replenished. Yeah, so that's an interesting feature in this Nurgle realm is you can either, there's two ways to kind of do it. You can go around getting these replenishment buffs as you force march, or you can take it a little bit slow and make sure to encamp as you progress through. I think that's what we're going to do. Alrighty, we've got some allied ogres down there. There's a couple of other armies here as well. Yeah, as you can see, there's some small encampments. We're just sort of chilling at the moment. I do want to try and close some of these rifts in and around us. The quicker we can do so, the better, as we don't want them to grow. And if you don't, armies can spill out of these rifts. So then you're, for all intents and purposes, fighting two battles. But hey, maybe you want to do that if you're in a comfortable position, depending on your difficulty. If you're playing on one of the lower difficulties, you could actually probably farm the rifts for additional army XP. So, let's move on in. We've already played a lot of these battles. I think I played every single faction once when the rifts opened up. But now that this is our third one, I just feel like there's no point of playing them. There's no added substance of playing the exact same battle again. It's just a bit of a grind to get on through. Not too much going on the wall as well. Still going to be quite a while before another attack happens. Tech-wise is what's making us imbalanced, so we need to correct that. Greece is going to play me 1,500 for peace. I'm actually going to accept that. We've already got his trait. And it's still quite a large kingdom there. Okay, so I've skipped a bit of ahead because we've had to essentially traverse through Nurgle's realm. We're nearly at the tree here, so there's a couple armies that we need to break on through, and then we can start the final battle. Nothing too crazy we encountered, so we need to get rid of this army here. A close victory, but that's okay. And we might have a battle beneath the tree. You would imagine it would spawn an army. But we'll have to see how we go. Okay, so let's force march if we can. No, we're not going to actually be able to reach it. So we're going to have to, once again, take a little bit slow and encamp. Move and encamp, move and encamp. Just to keep our army strength nice and high. Alright, back over here. We have had an army come out of the Slaanesh Rift. Kiros is making his way past the Great Maw, which can be a little bit annoying. We have got a lot of Zinch corruption going on. But most of the rifts I've already closed. They haven't been too overly difficult for me. And the Great Bastion's about to be attacked again. Oh, okay. So this is an army that's attacked me here. What do they got? The Lord of Change. Oh, there's some couple units I hadn't seen there before. But just an easy auto-resolve that we've been intercepted. Speaking of auto-resolves and we've been intercepted again. That Nurgle army's hit me in the encamp stance just beneath the tree during the end turn phase. Okay, so now we can actually go to our mission objective. 104, wow. So, we might have to force march. Yep, that's going to make us go there. So we'll take the risk. Even if we have to fight a battle in the force march, I think we're okay. Visit the Great Tree. So we've actually been healed again. Oh, so the battle isn't here. Where is it? Oh, it's further this way. Ooh. Kislev is quite close. Oh, so it's just we can't really see, I guess, because of the visual bug. But it's okay. I guess we have to go to the Plague Lord's mansion there eventually. She is in range. Okay. So, 2 armies have spawned back, which is super interesting. After we defeated them. But we can now attack the Plague Lord's mansion. We're at full strength now. Yep. And we're going to have the battle against Nurgle's Demon Prince. Let's fight this one. The Mansion of the Plague Lord.
The Mansion of the Plague Lord. The crooked manor of Nurgle. None would survive crossing its threshold, but the gardener will come as soon as we trespass upon its outer defenses. Capture the canker tree in the Garden of Blight. This will give you a foothold and grant us supplies to reinforce for the struggle ahead. There are 2 other trees you will need to claim, and so dominate the battle. Nurgle is amused you have made it this far. Slay his servants, and ensure he will not mock you again.
Okay. Oh my god, that thing was gross. We have to kill Jabba the Hutt with, what is it, pool noodles in his hair? I wonder what crooked means. Is in the word. I might have to look that up, because like the crooked plateau we're sort of fighting in. It just reminds me of Crooked Back Bog in The Witcher, because even that was kind of gross when it had been corrupted by witches and stuff. But anyway, here's the army. We'll try and soften up the first initial battle, but I'm going to speed this battle up. I will be putting it on 3 times speed, because they can go for an hour, quite a long time. Oh my god! Yeah, look at the back of it. It does look like a hut. Oh my god. Alright, so let's just try and soften up as best we can. And yeah, so from my experience, there isn't overly too much difference between the various battles against these demon princes here from a time and like battle perspective. Obviously the terrain and the topography is different. So I will be editing this battle down a bit and chucking it on 3 times speed where we can, just because they take quite a long time. Alright, so let's advance to the first capture point after we've defeated the first initial army, which is good. We've actually decimated, we actually shredded them, because we've still got one more to go. Tzeentch's Chaos Realm. So let's form up, get the supply points, and hold on for the first initial wave. Alright, let's spawn these ancestral warriors here. It's always good to get them in. Just help try and take out as many of them as I can. Alright, so they're throwing more Nurgle toads at me. Okay. Oh my god. The flowing bile and pustules throughout the battle map make me feel sick. Look, ugh, gross. Okay. So I brought in some halberds. They're always good. They're actually particularly going to work well against those toads. They're going to be like, get those Cathayan halberds onto those toads, man. That's like the perfect unit for them to take out. So we'll drop out some stuff with my Alchemist and Astromancer. And I've already added some additional armor buffs to my Celestial Dragon Guard and the halberds there as well. Let's drop a Wind Blast. So tactically, nothing too crazy. Just holding in a defensive formation. And just trying to grind on out the enemy Nurgle minions. Oh, good. Fire Rain Rockets getting some decent shots off. And we're just casting spells left and right here. Let's drop a Wind Blast there. Drop those shards down as well. Alright, we can heal these halberds back to full strength because we spawned them. Now Ying's doing okay as well. And look at this. We're down to about 16% of the first enemy wave. Then we'll make our way up to the second position. But we should have an easier time against Nurgle. I've mentioned this already, but if I had to grade the difficulty for Cathay, of which realm to go to, I'd probably nearly go to Nurgle first, if you had to choose in your campaign. Probably go Nurgle, probably go Khorne, but that can be a little bit tricky, that one. And then go to probably Slaanesh or Tzeentch, depending on your army build. I went to Khorne because I thought people would like to see Khorne first. And I was a little bit delayed. You might be thinking, oh, Simpsy, why aren't you taking your own advice? Well, I was actually delayed going to the second one. And I couldn't... Nurgle was basically like... There was one of the AI factions already in Nurgle's realm that was 4 turns ahead of me, I believe. And... I think there was like... So Greasus was only 1 turn ahead of me in Slaanesh's realm that I went for. Anyway, the second wave is already coming at us quite quickly here.
I stand ready.
Oh, sorry, not the second wave, technically. The battle before the second wave. Actually charging down the hill here. Which is going to compromise things and complicate things because my fire rain rockets are getting hit here first. That's a decent charge there. Reform the archers. They spawned super quick behind me, and they had the high ground momentum charging down as well. Far out. Righty. I can continue to pepper and whittle them down, and then we'll move up to the secondary capture point, take it. And then I guess we hold for the secondary wave. Actually, to be fair, I might actually be better off to hold the first capture point and just send 1 unit up there to get it. Alright, so I've made the decision to hold this secondary point. I think it's actually better defensively, just like looking at where the units are going to follow through. Unfortunately, the reinforcements are going to come further south, so it will take a little bit of time for them to get in. But we've got some more Dragon Guard coming in. So we've kicked off wave 2. Hopefully, we can keep sort of the rate of lower casualties and try and take out as many of them as we can. Continue with our pretty decent projection already. We survived the first wave well with minimal casualties. Hopefully we can do the same for this secondary. We do have the funds to get some fire rain rockets, but I think I'm going to save them for now. I might even get some arrow towers in. Nothing too crazy. But we're probably going to hold this position pretty well, I'd imagine. You just got to be careful when you're building deployables, such as barricades and arrow towers at a zone, because if you lose the zone, they get destroyed and you've essentially wasted the supply points. Sometimes you're better off just giving them additional armor, or either replenishing your archers, artillery, or your winds of magic. But so far, thanks to the replenishment bonuses in Nurgle's Chaos Realm, I think we're in a stronger, numerically and better position when we were venturing into Slaanesh's and particularly Khorne's territory. Yeah, just looking at how the enemy are flowing through. There's like a 3-point attack here that they can come from. And we're holding reasonably well. Okay, let's drop my favorite spell here with Miao Ying. Talons. And then we're going to combo it with a Wind Blast as well. There is going to be some serious Nurgle carnage there. If and when it goes off. Alrighty. 70%. Through the secondary wave. They got some flying units there that are really smashing on through my J crossbowmen, which is rather annoying. Let's drop a leadership there just to make them not rout too much. Oh, I've actually lost the capture point again. Far out. That's interesting. So we lost those towers in the end. Yeah. Maybe they just have capture like buffs on this difficulty, because they do tend to take these capture points with a quicker rate than me, I swear. We are going to be able to get it back now. But yeah, technically, in hindsight now, we probably wasted 1,800 supply points because they just captured it. The towers are gone. So, like I said, you do have to be careful. That's annoying. But anyway, we're going to be able to replenish back up. And we'll recapture these positions and we'll go for the last one. Okay, so we have to fight through the army that is garrisoning the last capture point. And then we should be able to have the battle against the Demon Prince. So even though I've edited this down a little bit, this battle's still going for 52 minutes for me. So they are quite long, these survival battles. And I'm not sure particularly if they're my cup of tea. Just because they take so long. But maybe it's just because of the difficulty I'm playing on. You know what I mean? I'd nearly much rather have 6 10-minute battles, land battles. But that's just my preference. I prefer land battles over sieges, which isn't the norm, I don't think. Okay, so we've got the 3 capture points. And we're about, once we form up here slightly, let's get these additional reinforcements in, and we're about to kick off the spawnage. There we go. Alrighty. Oh my god, they're coming in thick and fast. But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions. What do you like better, land battles or sieges? This has been my opinion for years now. And I'm not necessarily sure who's necessarily right. I think it's just down to personal preference. For all Total Wars, I've always preferred land battles just because they're always unique, as the topography of land battles is ever changing and how the AI moves and reacts because of it. So that's why I personally prefer. I feel like this is just an inevitability with sieges, regardless of the Total Wars. It even happens in like the heavily modded Rome Total War Remaster mod, Imperium Surrectum, that I play quite a bit, that sieges quite often, once you enter the city and get into the city streets, they just turn into grinds with no crazy tactical maneuvers, particularly when you're fighting at close quarter gateways or city streets, which can be a little bit boring in my opinion. But hey, some people like that. Some people like the, I like to flank this way and engage this way and then grind and push on through, which I can understand. I just think as a personal preference, I prefer land battles. I think I always have. Particularly if you're playing with like a battle-hardened Roman legion, you can't get much better than that. Okay.
We are pride, seeking Cathay's foes. For the moon dragon.
So, we're doing alright here. We've managed to chip away about 50. We just need to get these new warriors in, these reinforcements if we can. And then we just need to target the Demon Prince. And then we are all good, mate. And then we should be able to capture the Nurgle Prince's soul. Oh, yeah. Miao Ying is doing okay. Chipping away at the Prince Sling. Yeah. I sort of have like a sort of a similar thought process with auto-resolving as well in certain battles. Like, if there's a battle, if there's a faction I've never played before against, I want to show off the units, I want to look at it. But if there's a similar situation where I've already played that battle at least once, like similar terrain, similar army build, I'm going to auto-resolve it because I don't think it adds any of the value again. I think it's just a waste of time. I'd much rather go to a different battle with a different faction, you know what I mean? Like, for example, what's really the difference between fighting a Chaos army coming through the first rift compared to the third rift if it's the exact same army build? But that's just my personal opinion. I'd much rather play a different faction coming through or a different battle. But I get it. Some people like to play every single battle, but I'm more than happy to auto-resolve here and there. There's also like a degree of auto-resolve as well. Some people I know just like auto-resolve their campaigns. Like a lot of them. And only play like the grand and crucial sort of flashpoint battles. The ones that you desperately need to play. Because like, you know, there's like sort of battles that like decide and make or break your campaign. Alright, we're still holding on here. Come on, let's try and get rid of the Prince thing. Only a couple more left here now. Here he is. Hey, we got him.
So, Be'lakor has rebuilt his throne of old. But to what purpose? He has no followers, no army. Even the Chaos Gods abandoned him.
Does something amuse you? You sit in your little chair, but what power do you really wield? Hidden away, deep in this forge. Hidden. Your roar was felt across the world. A god's carrion will attract powerful scavengers. Let them come. The essence of the slain will be repurposed into an army.
It cannot be. Be'lakor controls the Forge of Souls. He intends to build an army of the most twisted manifestations. Soul grinders.
Your Chaos Masters will not allow it. I have no masters! The Chaos Gods are forbidden to enter here. Be silent while we wait. Wait for what? For you to die.
A third soul now lies pettered in the pages of my book. Yet Be'lakor, previously consumed by his own machinations, now strikes out at the threats arrayed against him. Gears turn in the Forge of Souls once more, and the Dark Master sends forth armies of soul grinders under his command. We must be ready, for they will surely come against us.
Well, we've completed the Nurgle's Chaos Realm. That's kind of cool. And it looks like there's going to be some attacks from various soul grinders, which will be fun. So we have to deal with the consequences of that soon. So stay tuned for episode 11 of this Cathay series coming out soon. So we've got to deal with Tzeentch's Chaos Realm, and then we're sort of nearly coming to the tail end of the campaign. So that means we get to start a new Warhammer 3 series, maybe over the coming weeks, which should be fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I'm going to play the outro now. Oh my god, we did it. That was way too close for my liking. Anyway, thank you very much for watching episode 8 of my Cathay series. We've completed Slaanesha's Realm. Stay tuned for episode 9, coming out soon. And we continue on with the Cathay campaign. So, thanks guys for watching. I'm going to play the outro now. Take care. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you want to stay connected with me. I also want to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tao, Lion B, Kyle P, Tom C, and White P. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.